car shopping could get a lot more expensive. President Trump's new tariffs on the auto industry are set to take effect tomorrow. The president announced a 25% import tax on all fully completed vehicles brought into the United States starting April 2nd. I'm joined once more by Dr. Brian Kelly, an economics professor at Seattle University. Great to see you again.
Thank you for having me on your program.
Yes.
It's wonderful to be here.
It's wonderful for you to explain all of this to us because I know some people are feeling a little anxious with these new announcements. So the president's new auto tariffs are meant to bring more car factories back to the U.S., but how will American consumers be impacted?
It's going to take a long time for the new factories to show up in the United States. So at least for the meantime, American consumers are going to see much higher car prices.
Gosh, okay. And so how much more will we be expected to pay for like foreign-made cars?
So the tariffs are currently supposed to be at 25%. So you would expect imported prices to go up something less than 25% if the dealerships absorb part of that cost. But the dealerships are in the business of getting the best prices they can. So I would expect for foreign-made cars, we'll see price hikes that could approach the 25%.
Wow. And what about car parts, too, impacted?
Well, car parts are also going to be subject to the tariffs, very deliberately, also 25%. And so we'll see car parts going up. In fact, we already have seen car part prices go up a great deal.
Gosh. Okay. And the president has said that American-made cars won't be impacted. But isn't it true that even the cars that were built here are sometimes made with parts that are manufactured in other countries?
Two things going on. First, exactly what you said. A lot of the parts coming into the United States are manufactured in other countries. People look back on our 1980s and 1990s experience with Japanese investment and they say, oh, protection worked. The Japanese moved some factories to the US. It took 10 years. But they forget that the Japanese continue to bring huge amounts of their parts in from Japan. Well, that's going to continue even if factories relocate. Right now, I saw an estimate that some GM cars have 50% imported parts. So one factor, yes, you're absolutely right. Domestic car prices will go up. The second thing is, why would the domestic producers and especially the dealerships not raise their prices if their competition, the foreign-made cars, are going up 25%? So we're going to see two different factors. This kind of cost push factor of the parts going up in cost, and then the competitive factor that foreign cars are going up in price, so domestic cars will too.
And this makes sense as well that like repairs, it's something to think about, that's going to go up and be more expensive, right?
Parts costs for repairs will go up, and I can speak from personal experience that that the parts will go up at least as much as the tariffs.
Oh my goodness. Okay. President Trump has also walked back on tariffs for a range of goods from Mexico and Canada, at least temporarily right now. So how is this impacting the market when you look at it?
Confusion. I think that's the main
I think that's
word.
how we're all feeling, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And so he didn't walk back all the tariffs. He walked back tariffs on products produced according to the rules of the USMCA. That's the trade agreement. But that's probably 70-80%. People really differ on what proportion. So a fair bit of stuff coming in from Mexico and Canada already is subject to the higher tariffs. So there's confusion about whether the tariffs will be going back up, and also which products are currently covered and which aren't. There are all sorts of fights going on right now. People saying, my products aren't covered, mine are. If you buy a BMW made in San Luis Potosí right now, it's subject to 25% tariff because it doesn't accord with all the rules of the USMCA. So lots of confusion.
Definitely. And there's backtracking too of some kind on China's tariffs might be next, we're thinking. How is this related to TikTok at all, or is it?
I don't see much of a link there unless President Trump wants to indulge his idea of grand bargains and somehow say, we won't try to force the sale of TikTok if you do X, Y, Z, or we'll drop tariffs. But I don't see a lot of linkage. I just think that they're both part of the general chaos.
Okay. And are there any other tariff conversations on the horizon that you feel like we should know about for sure?
The big one's coming tomorrow afternoon. That's reciprocal tariffs. And this is where the administration is saying, if country X has high tariffs on us, we're going to put high tariffs on them. Now, I think maybe we discussed last time we talked that most of our trading partners don't have very high tariffs on us. So if that exercise were done honestly, it wouldn't be as important as some of these other measures. But what concerns me is there's lots and lots and lots of ways to calculate these reciprocal tariffs, and I think the administration will game the system.
Well, we so appreciate you being here. Thank you for sharing your insight with everyone and hopefully helping with some of the confusion.
Thank you for welcoming me.
Yes.